Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Angela. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Before I get started, I want to go over my disclaimers. If you are in immediate danger, please call 911 or reach out to the domestic hotline at 800-799-SAFE, 800-799-7233. And for mental health resources, reach out to NAMI at 800-950-NAMI, 800-950-6264, and you can also text at 741741. With that being said, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. So today is story time. I just want to give you a story of an encounter with a spiritual narcissist. This person, I was married at the time, and I went through counseling. So I wanted to go to, we have been doing couple counseling and things of that nature, but I wanted to do some individual counseling just for myself, just to make sure that I'm doing everything I can. And you know, sometimes you need a person to take a look at what you're doing, so they have no dog in the race or in the fight, so they can tell you exactly how you may be overlooking some things. So during this time, this was like I said, I was married at the time, and I was going through my own medical condition, and I'll just go ahead and share that with you, because it's a common condition that most women, especially women of color, get, and it's the fibroids, you know. And anyone that suffers from fibroids can understand the pain and how painful it is to have intercourse, and how it messes with your mental, because of the blood loss that you go through when you have fibroids. So anyway, I was talking to this spiritual person that was supposed to be of guidance, because my marriage was not going the way I wanted it to, and I couldn't understand why my husband had no sympathy for the diagnosis that I had been given. Even my doctor tried to explain to him why sometimes I didn't feel like I wanted to be intimate with him, and how it messes with you, physical, and not just physical, but also mentally. So you know, I was doing everything in my power to try to make sure that I'm being a good wife. So I talked to this person, and I told them what was going on, and how my husband seemed to have no compassion, and how he didn't really concern himself with trying to find out what was going on with me. He seemed to think that I was just faking it just to get out of being intimate. And so, you know, when I was telling this person that was going on, the first thing came out of his mouth was, well, you know, as a wife, it's your place to be submissive to your husband. And I was shocked and taken back, and he even brought up the scripture, and the scripture that he used was Ephesians 5:22. And it goes on to say, women, submit to your husband. I'm not quoting it directly, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. And so I was so taken back by what he was saying, and I just was, you know, and I explained my medical condition, and I said, well, there's no way possible that I can. I said, because of this condition is really interfering with my life, and most of the time I'm so weak and I'm so exhausted from the blood loss. And I said, so there's no way that I can do this. And I said, I think he should be understanding. And the person, the spiritual person, so-called spiritual person that I was talking to, said, and you have to also be understanding that a man has needs, and there's more than one way. And so you know, I got off the phone, because this was a phone conversation. I got off the phone with this person, and right then and there, I knew that this person had nothing. There was no solution coming from this person that was from God, you know. And I knew at this time that this person didn't have my best interest at stake, and wasn't even a godly person. So, I got off the phone, and I just, like I always tell you, I went to God and I talked about these things, and I cut this person out of my life. I made sure that this person had no more access to me, because now the cat is out of the bag. You're telling me exactly who you are in the spiritual world. You're telling me how you think. And if I had have been a really weak person, I would have really tried to abide by the Bible and this verse especially, and tried to make my husband happy. Because, and then, here's the part that got me. I'm trying to make my husband happy, but yet I'm suffering. And that's not the way it should be in any relationship. You shouldn't have to suffer. It should be a give and take. You're there with a person for better or worse. You're there when the person is not feeling their best, and you're trying to make sure that you uplift them, take care of them, and not take from them. So I realized that, and I understood that this person that I was married to didn't have my best interest, and also the person that I confided in didn't have my best interest. And like I said, God gave you a brain before he gave you a book. So he gave you intuition. So you have to go with what you see. Don't take it and say, oh, well, this person didn't mean it. Oh, they're trying to help me. And in this case, he wasn't trying to help me. This person was not trying to help me. It was all for selfish reasons for himself, to make himself look good with what he was saying, and backing it up with spiritual scriptures, and then also to make it seem like, and everything, which I do believe the husband is the head of the household. But I've often said, you're not going to be in a household where your husband is destroying you and leading you down a destructive path. You don't want anyone to be the head of your household in that sense. So you get out of a relationship like that as soon as possible. And if you got people that are co-signing and saying that this person is right in the relationship, then you leave them alone as soon as possible. The first thing and the best thing to do is go to Spirit, ask God for guidance, and trust and believe He will guide you out of the relationship, out of the destructive marriage, out of the ill will counseling, and set you free. Don't second guess. And in my case, there was no way possible that I could even entertain being with my spouse when my fibroids would flare up. There was no way. It was impossible. So whether it was me with the excessive bleeding, whether that was the case, or just the swelling that you get from fibroids as a woman, I just didn't have the physical strength to do that. And of course I got the fibroids taken care of. I did what I was supposed to medically, but during the time when it first appeared, my husband had no sympathy for me, and it felt like I was there by myself. And I know the only person that I could turn to was God, and in turning to God, I thought, well, maybe if I talk to this person who says that he's of God, he's a minister, maybe he can help with some directions on how I can get through to my husband. But instead, he gave me directions on being submissive. And my first thought was, how can you submit to someone when you're not fit to, mentally or physically? So you have to keep that in mind. Being submissive doesn't mean that you lay down who you are, or you lay down your values just to have someone in your life. I look at it as being compromising, making sure that you understand each other, and a man is supposed to take care of his wife and supposed to treat her like God did the church. But if you got somebody seeing that somebody in the congregation is not up to par, and you're still pulling on them and asking them to do things that they can't, then that's not of God. That's for selfish reasons. You're showing how narcissistic you really are. You're trying to control the person. So it's the same with a marriage. If you're you're in a marriage for better or for worse. So during my time of worse, my husband was supposed to be by my side and make sure that I come out of everything okay, and not get in his feelings because things wasn't going his way. So if you know somebody that's in a relationship, if you're in a relationship and you're going through something, whether it's physical or mentally, and your spouse is not there by your side, and you see their actions, you know that you can't depend on this person, you know that you feel like you're out there all alone, then I would never tell anyone to walk away from their marriage, but I would ask you to go to God, and ask him to help lead you in the right direction, because everybody's situation is different. And I know in my situation, that was just one instance of this person showing me who he really was. And I didn't have anybody that I could talk to about this spiritually that tried to understand. So at that point, I just went directly to God. There was no need and for my own being, I didn't feel like I needed to go out and try to find a spiritual community or whatever the case may be. I decided to go directly to God, and I waited on him, and I listened to his direction. And when I say that he speaks to you clearly as I'm speaking to you, just try it and see. Like I said, if you know someone that's going through this, share this video. Try to be there as much as possible. Also, tell them to listen to their intuition, and for everything. I was talking to a friend the other day, and I just said, I've been doing things my way for such a long time. And I've always believed in God. I've always depended on God. But sometimes I get in the habit of, I'll listen to what he's saying to me, and I'll just move too quickly and take it directly out of his hand. I ask him to do this. I ask him to help me with this. But I just get to the point where I want to do this right now, And I told her, I said, I'm going to stop that. I said, for the rest of my life, I'm going to listen to God's speak to me. I'm not going to God speaking to me. I'm not going to move so hastily. I'm not going to jump into another relationship because I may feel like I need something in my life right now. I'm not going to overlook red flags when I see a person that's controlling, playing my mind games, and trying to make me feel a certain way and not being truthful. I'm not going to overlook the red flags. I'm going to see them for what they are, and I'm going to allow God to direct my path. And hopefully you'll do the same. You won't allow your feelings or your wants or your desires to get ahead of what God has planned for you. If you know someone, like I said, that's going through this, please share this video. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you for watching.